Hello, everyone. Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. I have a me stack. Stack is a good way to put it. Let's go right away with one of my favorite books. This is Volume 2, Number 2 of Flavor Girls, Return to the Mothership. So, yeah. Let me see. Story and art by, and I always try to say people's names. Maybe I should go online and see how she says it. Locatelli Kornski. Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all. So, when last we left our Flavor Girls, who are like fruit-based Sailor Moon, basically. They were fighting a giant robot in an underwater ancient ship. And the one girl has issues with her mother, and her mother doesn't realize that she actually is very good at what she does. So it's like, that was interesting. And then they went to another storyline altogether where they all kind of went on vacation, which, that's cool. Sometimes you got to go on vacation. Not a problem. This is just such a great book. It's already on 2. I think it's only going to be 3 issues. I would probably recommend that you get the trade paperback of the first one first. There, look at that cover. Isn't that nice? There's a cover on the back, too. Look. So, yeah, that's a great book. Barbarella number 3 of I don't know how many volumes. Does it tell me? I never thought to look. Hold on. Volume 4, number 3. That makes sense. The subtitle for this one is Secrets and Seductions on Alpha Prime. Script by Blake Northcott. Art by Anna Moroza. So let's talk about. It's pretty. I mean, look, isn't that pretty? That's so pretty. She was on a trapped on an island. She got off the island, runs into some girl that wants to have sex with her, who may or may not be a robot. I think she might be a robot, actually. And it's a very pretty book, but I don't like the way they draw Barbarella. It's not Barbarella for me. She's just so glunt looking, I guess. I don't know. I mean, she doesn't got to look like the cover, because there's how many covers to this? It goes up to the letter L? One's a cosplay. One's from the actual artist for the interiors. Like I said before, the interiors are pretty, but there's a lot of, it feels unnatural and lots of posing. Like they said here, pose for this still picture. I know, comic books are still pictures, I get that. Pose for this still picture. That doesn't feel very action-y for a book that's always been action-y. So, and we're at number 3. Story arcs for these are usually 5. So, it's still good. I like Barbarella. I just didn't like the way they drew her face. Alright, Metamorpho, the Element Man, number 2. The noise, of course, is, as always, a dog of some sort. So, let me get you our people in charge of this. You'd expect that to be right on the front thing here. Let me look in the back. Hold on, kids. Yep, I knew it. Al Ewing, Steve Leiber. Al Ewing is our writer. Steve Leiber is our artist. These are old school gentlemen doing Metamorpho. And I love the way that they write it. It's very pop 60s. It feels a lot like pop 60s. And the Mad Mod is back. If you don't know who that is, good for you. But, yeah, Mad Mod is back, Dad. Lots of beatnik talk, I guess is a good way to put it. Anyways, Sapphire finds out that people like to watch drama on her. She has like 5 million followers or something like that. And so there's cameras in Stag Industries' entire mainframe that take care of all of that. So she just uploads it to her thing, and people are like, "Oh, look, it's drama," and yep, they think that's a pretty good time actually. And so, but Metamorpho, Rex, to be, yeah, Rex is not happy about it. And then there's this pop singer who's taking away from Sapphire's stuff, and we find out that it's her father built a robot that was a pop singer. It's weird. This is weird. It's good weird, not bad weird. Good weird. So let's see what we got here. All in Power Girl number 17. See, she got a new costume. I hate it. I don't understand why they thought they needed a new costume. Writer is Leah Williams. Artist is David Baldione. They're moving into a place. What is it? The big newspaper building. They took it over. I still hate this artwork. If I hadn't complained before, it's very cartoony. And I guess that's fine for some things, but it doesn't feel like, to me, there you go, to me, it doesn't feel like a good fit to Power Girl. So I don't like her new costume, and I don't like the art. The story seems fine. Yeah, there you go. There you go. The third and final issue, which makes me so sad, of Tom Scioli's Godzilla's Masterpiece Theater. This was such a delight. And story and art by Tom Scioli. They're after Godzilla. And it's funny because, like, Godzilla steps on a pyramid and ticks off a mummy. So the mummy is determined to take out Godzilla, even though he's just a human-sized mummy. Daisy is kidnapped by from The Great Gatsby. This is all literature. Well, some of it's literature, some of it's just pop. Daisy's kidnapped by Dracula. Sherlock Holmes has become a vampire. Great Gatsby's trying to save the day. They mentioned Nosferatu, Jules Verne. There's werewolves. H.G. Wells shows up. Baron von Frankenstein. And it's so weird. I know I said that in the video. Look how weird this looks. It looks great. I did like that there's an ad for the new Godzilla vs. Chicago comic book coming out. I fear for Godzilla having been to Chicago. So, we'll see. But yes, this was the final issue. Frankenstein shows up, Wolfman, Mummy, they all get kaiju-sized. It's silly. It's silly. Here you go. And because Gatsby gets grown, they call him the Great Gatsby. Here, just look at that. Look at that. You see that? I hope you can see that. It's just so much fun. So they'll put a trade paperback out, I'm pretty sure. I don't see why they wouldn't. They even make a reference to Battleship Potemkin in this. There's so much going on that you read it and you're like, oh, wow, that was really cool. Yeah, go read it again. You missed about... I read it again. I missed so many things. So this was a lot of fun. IDW did a great job. I'd like another one. All right. Oh, I can't wait for this to be over. Issue 66 of The Amazing Spider-Man. The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Filled in once again by a group. Justina Ireland and Andrea Brocardo. At least the art's not awful this time. That's a good thing. There's a lot of Peter just being Peter. He's given up because the one Crimson Satorak person showed him death, where he had to experience each person's death, and he kind of takes those things personally. So he's kind of done being Spider-Man. So he's given up on everything. He's like, I'm just done. You broke me. Lucky for us, the Crimson Bands of Cytorak, or Cytorak, whatever it is, I don't know, are have something to do with Juggernaut, because he's got the gem. So it has triggered his. So Juggernaut's on his way to help save the day, and he brings his X-Men with him, and because he's in an X-Men group called just it's just X-Men. No Uncanny, no Sensational, no Repulsive, no Dingleberry, just X-Men. So that's kind of nice. It's weird that this is Amazing Spider-Man. There's like 5 Spider-Man books. X-Men have like 5 books. I chose Amazing Spider-Man to read out of all the books. I'm not buying every Spider-Man book. That would be ridiculous. I chose X-Men to buy as my X-Men book because it's got the team I want. It's got Cyclops, Beast, Kid Omega, Temper, Juggernaut, and Magic. My favorite is Magic. So I coincidentally bought and buying the 2 books that this crossover deals with. That's weird, right? So, yeah, I'll be glad when this is over. It says the 8 deaths of Spider-Man, and he gave up around 4, so that's not bad. I mean, he gave up. He'll go back to it. He'll finish it. It's kind of a giveaway at the end when the coming next issue has a him in his sorcerer Spider-Man costume. Ooh. So there are your books. Let's go ahead and do our count. Godzilla's not a superhero. Boom, boom. Barbarella's not a superhero. Flavor Girls are a superhero. They actually say it. So we have 4 superhero. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 non-superhero. Interesting for me is the so little Marvel. Because I've got an independent book, an independent book, an independent book, 2 DC books, and a single Marvel comic book. Uh-oh. But that new Doom crossover is coming, and it's Dr. Doom, so I'll get that. So what are you going to do? Alright, so apparently there's something going on with Diamond distributors that could possibly affect comic books in the near future. I certainly hope it does not affect comic books in the near future. I'm not very well read up on it. The people who are doing one of the chapters, chapter 11, I want to say, they might go after the comic book shops for money, and I'm like, that's not really how that works. If the comic book shops have paid Diamond, it's not their fault that Diamond squandered their money. So hopefully they all have very good lawyers, and we will continue to get comic books. A lot of places had stopped using Diamond altogether. So, interesting, right? Right? So, alright. As always, I tell you to go read comic books. This is something that you must do for me. Go read a comic book. Go to local comic book store. Look in the quarter bin. Just sit there and go through the comic books. Find something you like. It doesn't have to be a superhero. It doesn't have to be a superhero in tights. It doesn't have to be Marvel. It doesn't have to be DC. Heck, it doesn't even have to be Image. It could be there's lots of little comic book companies out there now. There's a new one that makes bigger books called The Distillery. Those are interesting. Not interesting enough that I'm going to buy one. I don't want them. But that's not for me to say, for you to buy it. So, and then of course, as I always mentioned, the library is free. There's an online app for libraries where your local library has a bunch of stuff on the app that you can read. Books, CDs, movies, and comic books. So there's a way to do that too. There's a way to read a comic book. If you really want to try one, and just, try one. If you don't like it, everyone has a different thing. Soon we should be getting the announcements for what is the free comic book day. It's kind of early still. They put that info out pretty quick, but that's not till May, first Saturday of May. And a lot of times it's the 4th of May, so people are doing the Star Wars free comic book because it's May the 4th be with you. I know, it's awful. So there you go. There's your show. I will see you next week with another stack of comic books. In the meantime, go read a comic book.